The SpaceX Dragon is ready to depart the station, having arrived on December 7, 2020, with over 6,500 pounds of cargo. Today, you're watching the first autonomous undocking of a cargo Dragon 2 vehicle. Upon Dragon's departure today, scheduled for 8:05 a.m. Central Time, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, it will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled for a safe splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa around 7:27 p.m. Central Time Wednesday night. Good morning. I'm NASA Shaniqua Vereen, and I'm broadcasting live from the White Flight Control Room here at NASA's Johnson Space Center. The team today is being led by Flight Director Paul Kanya, and we will hear Capcom, or Capsule Communicator Mike Jensen, relaying information to NASA astronaut Victor Glover, who will be monitoring today's undocking. After waving off yesterday's undocking due to bad weather conditions, SpaceX conducted a series of weather briefings overnight and determined conditions today were acceptable to permit Dragon's scheduled undocking. The Dragon's departure will be the first undocking of a U.S. commercial cargo craft from the International Docking Adapter. Again, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be monitoring the activity from aboard the station. Dragon will fire its thrusters to move a safe distance from the station's space-facing port of the Harmony module and exit the area of the space station to begin its return to Earth about 36 hours later, on Wednesday, January 13th. Dragon will initiate a deorbit burn to begin its reentry sequence into Earth's atmosphere, then make a parachute-assisted splashdown that evening around 7:27 p.m. The first return of a cargo resupply spacecraft off the coast of Florida. The deorbit burn and splashdown will not be broadcast, but you can keep up online. www.nasa.gov. Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne, California. The command will be sent, and the hooks will unhook from the International Space Station, and springs will push Dragon away from the International Space Station so it will get to a safe distance to fire its thrusters on. Will fire its thrusters and begin those first departure burns. Then it will cross the keep out sphere, an invisible line around the station with about 200 immediate radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicles on their way to and from the station. SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft launched to the International Space Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Sunday, December 6, 2020. This was the first launch for SpaceX under NASA's second commercial resupply service contract, CRS 21, delivering over 6,500 pounds of supplies, equipment, and materials to directly support dozens of the more than 250 science and research investigations that will occur aboard the orbiting laboratory during the expeditions 64 and 65. One of the many research investigations that were delivered to Dragon, one important was one of the Cardinal Heart studies, which checked how microgravity causes changes in the workload and shape of the human heart, and is still very much unknown in how it shapes the heart in space. The investigation uses 3D engineered heart tissues, a type of tissue chip, to investigate these changes. Results could provide new understanding of heart problems on Earth and help identify new treatments and support developing screening measures to protect the heart in space.
Houston on 2 for lab noise and Dragon updates.
On 2.
Hey Hopper, Ethos is about to do their venting nitrogen into the lab from the supply system. It's the train whistle noise. We recommend either avoiding the lab for the next little bit or ear protection if you need to be in the lab.
Okay, we copy all.
And then 2 items. One is for Ike. We'll be calling Ike into the departure monitor procedure around 13:35, given our undocked plan time. And then for no exercise, the no exercise block will start at 13:55 and run through 14:05.
Okay, we copy 13:35 for Ike to get into his. No exercise, 13:55 to 14:05.
Good copy all.
You just heard that call from Capcom Mike Jensen informing the crew that they are currently under an exercise constraint, which means the crew is advised not to use any of the exercise equipment as Dragon is ready to depart. This allows the craft to easily undock without the space station having any concerns of vibrations.
Go on 2.
Yeah, that call about the no exercise, you should probably make that on 1 so both the Sergeys know that constraint, the timing of that constraint.
Good call. I will waterfall it to 1.
Perfect, thank you.
And Station Houston on 1 for Dragon awareness. Given the undock time of 1400, the no exercise constraint will be 13:55 through 14:05.
Houston, thank you. Crew copies. We complete our exercise.
Copy.
The space station is currently flying 263 nautical miles above the North Pacific Ocean, and it's currently in an orbital nighttime. As soon as we do have views of the spacecraft outside, we'll get them to you guys. Orbital nighttime is due to the station flying around the Earth. We get about 16 sunsets and sunrises a day. Every 90 minutes, the space station will orbit the Earth. If you are just joining us today, we are broadcasting live from the White Flight Control Room here in Houston, Texas at NASA's Johnson Space Center. We are watching the first autonomous undocking of a Cargo 2 Dragon vehicle from the International Space Station. Upon Dragon's departure today, scheduled for 8:05 a.m. Central Time, it will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware scheduled for a safe splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa at 7:27 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, January 13th. That's 7:27 p.m. Central Time, 8:27 p.m. Eastern Time for a splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa. You are currently seeing the Mission Control Room here at NASA Johnson Space Center and the Hawthorne Mission Control Room, the SpaceX Mission Control Room in Hawthorne, California. We are currently in joint operations and will do so until Dragon reaches a couple milestones today. The teams here are being led by Flight Director Paul Kanya, and you will hear Capcom or Capsule Communicator Mike Jensen relaying information to NASA astronaut Victor Glover, who will be monitoring today's undocking. After waving off yesterday's undocking due to bad weather conditions, SpaceX conducted a series of weather briefings overnight and determined conditions were acceptable to permit Dragon's scheduled undocking at 8:05 a.m. Central Time, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, Dragon's departure today will be the first undocking of a U.S. commercial cargo craft from the International Docking Adapter on the International Space Station.
I found an unidentified floating object, kind of a QD cap of some sorts near ARED. Photos are on SSC-20. No rush. I've got it in my crew quarters for whenever you figured out what it is.
Copy all.
The command to undock Dragon will be sent in just under 39 minutes. Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne. The command can be sent from either the astronauts on board the station or the ground team, and while the command won't come from the on-orbit crew today, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be standing by in the cupola module and monitoring the spacecraft's departure. There are a couple milestones we'll see Dragon meet this morning. First, those departure burns, but then it will cross the keep-out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the International Space Station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicle on the way to and from the station. Once that command is sent, there will be 2 sets of hooks from the International Space Station released, and the springs from Dragon will push it away from the station. The spacecraft will slowly drift away, and Dragon will have a few small departure burns to get it into the proper position away from the station as it will hit its eventual deorbit burn scheduled for later tonight. That will slow Dragon down enough to drop it out of orbit and send it on toward its landing zone, splashing down tomorrow night around 7:27 p.m. Central Time off the coast of Tampa. You are currently getting outside views of the Dragon attached to the Harmony module. It is in an orbital nighttime, so the images are a little dark. We'll be entering daylight just shortly. SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft launched to the International Space Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Sunday, December 6, 2020. This was the first launch for SpaceX under NASA's second commercial resupply service contract, CRS 21, delivering over 6,500 pounds of supplies, equipment, and materials to directly support dozens of the more than 250 science and research investigations that will occur aboard the orbiting laboratory during Expeditions 64 and 65. Cargo Dragon's arrival at the space station marked the first time two Dragons spacecraft docked to the orbiting laboratory at the same time. The Crew Dragon spacecraft, named Resilience, that brought the Crew 1 astronauts, has been docked since its arrival on November 16, 2020. Currently on board the station, their Crew 1 astronauts brought the complement to a number of to 7 astronauts aboard the station. From the left, that's the astronaut Kate Rubins, Victor Glover, JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi, station commander currently Sergei Ryzhikov, Mike Hopkins, NASA astronaut Mike Hopkins, Shannon Walker, and Sergei Kutsverchkov of Roscosmos. We are currently about 30 minutes out before we get that first command to undock Dragon.
Station Houston on 2 for Ike, 4-minute warning for the Dragon departure call.
Copy. I am in the cupola, ready to go.
And we currently have better views of Dragon attached to the Harmony module as we enter into orbital daytime. If you're just joining us, you're currently seeing the SpaceX Dragon as it is attached currently to the Harmony module of the International Space Station. We are ready for its departure, currently scheduled for 8:05 a.m. Central Time. It will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled to splash down safely in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa around 7:27 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night. After waving off yesterday's undocking due to bad weather conditions, SpaceX conducted a series of weather briefings overnight and determined conditions were acceptable to permit Dragon's scheduled undocking today. The Dragon's departure will be the first undocking of a U.S. commercial cargo craft from the International Docking Adapter. Again, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will monitor the activity aboard the station from the cupola. In just about 25 minutes, the command to undock Dragon will be sent, and the hooks on Dragon and the springs will be released to push Dragon a safe distance away from the International Space Station, where Dragon will fire its thrusters to move a safe distance from the station's space-facing port of the Harmony module and exit the area of the space station to begin its return to Earth about 36 hours later. On Wednesday, January 13th, Dragon will initiate a deorbit burn to begin its re-entry sequence into the Earth's atmosphere.
In preparation for undock, perform step 1 of 1.602 Dragon departure monitoring. Undock sequence start time 1400 GMT.
Copy, undock sequence start time 1400. Block 1 complete. Dragon undock and departure review complete, and ISS crew is ready for departure.
Houston copies.
If you're just joining us, we are currently broadcasting live from the White Flight Control Room at NASA's Johnson Space Center, covering the undocking of the SpaceX Dragon from the International Space Station. Upon Dragon's departure today, scheduled for 8:05 a.m. Central Time, it will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware. Scheduled to splash down in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa at 7:27 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, January 13th. The Dragon's departure will be the first undocking of a U.S. commercial cargo craft from the International Docking Adapter. Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne, California. We will be in joint operations until Dragon reaches a couple of milestones. After the command is sent, Dragon will push away slowly from the International Space Station, and then it will have a few small departure burns that will allow Dragon to get to a safe distance away from the International Space Station. After that, thrusters will give it more departure burns that will let it cross the keep out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are there as checkpoints for the vehicles as they approach and leave the station. SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft launched to the International Space Station atop a Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Sunday, December 6, 2020, and autonomously docked on December 7th. This was the first launch for SpaceX under NASA's second Commercial Resupply Services contract, CRS 21, delivering over 6,500 pounds of supplies, equipment, and materials to directly support dozens of the more than 250 science and research investigations that will occur aboard the orbiting laboratory during expeditions 64 and 65. Among those investigations and science research was the Cardinal Heart Investigation. Cardinal Heart was a study to see how changes in gravity affect cardiovascular cells at the cellular and tissue levels. The investigation used 3D engineered heart tissues, a type of tissue chip, that would show and understand the heart problems on Earth, to help us show and understand the heart problems we have on Earth and help identify new treatments and support development of screening measures to predict cardiovascular risk prior to spaceflight. Dragon and the International Space Station are currently flying 262 statute miles above the South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Peru. We are currently moments away from Flight Director Paul Kanya doing a go no go poll in international space in the White Flight Control Room today to see whether or not Dragon will do its departure. If you're just joining us, we are currently broadcasting live from the White Flight Control Room in Houston, Texas at NASA's Johnson Space Center. We are currently awaiting about 10 minutes away from command for Dragon to be undocked today from the International Space Station. Upon Dragon's departure, scheduled currently for 8:05 a.m. Central Time, it will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled for a safe splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa around 7:27 p.m. tomorrow night. 7:27 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night, January 13th. You are currently seeing live views of SpaceX Mission Control in Hawthorne, California, and the International Space Station Flight Control Room in Johnson Space Center. In just a few moments, we'll be hearing from Flight Director Paul Kanya as he does a go no go poll for today's undocking. Next to Paul Kanya, who's currently standing on your right, is Capcom or Capsule Communicator Mike Jensen. You'll hear him delay messages to the astronauts aboard the International Space Station. NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be monitoring today's undocking procedures.
Station Houston on 2. Dragon is go for undocking and departure. Perform steps 2 through end in 1.602. Dragon departure monitoring.
Copy, go. ISS crew is ready for Dragon undocking.
Copy.
And we heard it. That is the go for undocking today. We are waiting on that command that should be sent in just under 9 minutes. We currently have a loss of signal, but communications should be back up just shortly. You're currently getting a live view of the White Flight Control Room here at in Houston, Texas at NASA's Johnson Space Center. If you are just joining us, today SpaceX and Dragon are a go for undocking. Having arrived on December 7, 2020 with over 6,500 pounds of cargo, today we will be watching the first autonomous undocking of a cargo Dragon 2 vehicle from the International Space Station. Upon Dragon's departure today, scheduled for 8:05 a.m. Central Time, it will depart with just over 4,400 pounds of critical science and other hardware, scheduled for a safe splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tampa around 7:27 p.m. January 13th. NASA and SpaceX will be in joint operations until Cargo Dragon meets a couple milestones today. The Dragon's departure will be the first undocking of U.S. commercial cargo craft from the International Docking Adapter. Dragon will fire its thrusters to move a safe distance after the command is sent for the undocking command is sent. Today, the command to release Dragon will originate from flight controllers here on the ground and in Hawthorne, California at SpaceX. The command can be sent from either the astronauts aboard the station or the ground team. While the command won't be sent from the on-orbit crew today, NASA astronaut Victor Glover will be standing by in the cupola module and monitoring the spacecraft's departure. There are a couple milestones we'll see Dragon meet this morning. First, those departure burns, but then it will cross the keep-out sphere, an invisible line around the station with a 200-meter radius. It will keep heading away from the station and will stand by until it makes its way out of the approach ellipsoid, another invisible line that's 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 2 kilometers around the station. These invisible lines are where we have checkpoints for the vehicles on their way to and from the International Space Station. We are just about 3 minutes out from the command to be sent to undock Dragon. When that command is sent, two sets of hooks will be released and springs will be pushed on Dragon to separate it from the International Space Station. Dragon then will fire its thrusters to move a safe distance from the space station's space-facing port of the Harmony module and exit the area of the space station to begin its return to Earth about 36 hours later. On Wednesday, January 13th, Dragon will initiate a deorbit burn to begin its re-entry sequence into the Earth's atmosphere, then make a parachute-assisted splashdown that evening around 7:27 p.m. Central Time. This will be the first return of cargo resupply spacecraft off the coast of Florida. We are currently 1 minute out from the command to be sent to undock Dragon. Once the command is sent, 2 sets of hooks from the International Space Station will be released and springs from Dragon will push and we'll begin to see separation of the vehicle. The spacecraft will start to slowly drift away, and then Dragon will make a few small departure burns to get it into the proper position to head away from the International Space Station for its eventual deorbit burn later tomorrow. And the command to undock Dragon has been sent, and we are now waiting on the first set of hooks to be unhooked from the Dragon spacecraft. The first set of hooks are open, and we're now waiting.
The first set of hooks are open. Dragon is committed to undock.
Station copy.
As you just heard, the first set of hooks are open, and we're now waiting on the second set to unhook.
Station Houston on 2. All hooks
Physical
open.
separation visually confirmed.
Copy. Separation
Motion.
confirmed.
And there you have it. The second hooks were open, and physical separation was successful for an undocking of Dragon at 8:05 a.m. Central Time over the South Atlantic Ocean.
Station Houston, Dragon departure burn 0 complete.
Station copies. Range 13.9 meters, range rate 39 centimeters per second. Dragon's in the corridor.
Dragon has had its first departure burn, and it's now traveling at a rate of 29 meters per second away from the International Space Station. Again, Dragon is traveling at a rate of 0.4 meters per second away from the International Space Station.
Station Moscow for Sergei, the second.
Houston Station in Block 4. Source slide is 4. ISS thrusters enabled.
Copy. Thrusters enabled.
Dragon is currently around 71 meters away from the International Space Station. We are standing by as Dragon approaches that 200-meter milestone known as the Keep Out Sphere, heading away from the International Space Station. The range and rate we are getting now is increasing as expected as the cargo Dragon leaves the station.
Houston Station range 85 meters, range rate 39 centimeters per second. Dragon is in the corridor.
Houston copies.
If you're just joining us, Cargo Dragon 2 has had a successful undocking at 8:05 a.m. Central Time while the International Space Station was flying over the South Atlantic Ocean.
Houston Station, departure burn 1 in progress.
Copy. Departure burn 1 in progress. And Station Houston, we show departure burn 1 is complete.
Dragon's in the corridor. 150 meters range, rate is 55 centimeters per second. Looking good.
Houston copies.
You just heard a call about the Departure 1 burn. That's a burn that helps Dragon get away from the International Space Station. It was about 21-second burn, and it's the first of 2 burns to get away from the station towards the Keep Out Sphere.
Houston Station range 200 meters, range rate 69 centimeters per second. I show Cargo Dragon outside the Keep Out Sphere. Nice job, Houston and Hawthorne. Godspeed, Cargo Dragon, and to the recovery team.
And Station Houston, we concur. Dragon has exited the keep-out sphere. Resilience will have to say hi to her sister ship in Dragonland.
And you just heard it, Dragon is outside the keep-out sphere, that 200-meter radius around the station. It will have another departure burn in about 45 minutes. You heard words from Victor Glover, who monitored undocking today, and Mike Jensen, Capcom, concur. We had a successful undocking of the updated cargo Dragon vehicle at 8:05 a.m. Central Time, while the International Space Station and Dragon flew 262 statute miles above the South Atlantic Ocean. You are currently seeing live views from Hawthorne, California, SpaceX's Mission Control Room. We will be in joint operation. Well, we just completed joint operations as Dragon left the keep out sphere. We are still waiting on one of those milestones, which is the approach ellipsoid. We're about 7 minutes out before Dragon will hit that milestone as well today. If you are just joining us, Cargo Dragon 2 had a successful undocking at 8:05 a.m. Central Time, while the International Space Station flew 262 statute miles above the South Atlantic Ocean. Again, we are currently standing by as Dragon approaches the approach ellipsoid, this second of two milestones that we are going to see Dragon make today. The range and rate at which Dragon is departing is now increasing as it is leaving the neighborhood of the International Space Station. Dragon is currently around 665 meters away from the International Space Station. If you're just joining us, this is the live coverage of the undocking of the Dragon cargo vehicle from the International Space Station. We had a successful undocking at 8:05 a.m. as the International Space Station flew 262 statute miles above the South Atlantic Ocean. With NASA astronaut Victor Glover monitoring aboard the International Space Station, an upgraded SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft undocked from the International Docking Adapter on the station's space-facing port of the Harmony module. This was the first undocking of a U.S. cargo commercial spacecraft from the complex. Previous Cargo Dragon spacecrafts were attached and removed from the space station using the station's robotic Canadarm2.
Dragon is outside the approach ellipsoid on a 24-hour safe free drift trajectory.
She copies. Great news.
And that
one item for you if you're ready to copy regarding SSCs in the cupola.
Ready to copy.
Ike, Pluto would like a few photos and just a bit more description of what you were seeing in terms of the two power cables to the two SSCs so we can try and troubleshoot what we will do about it.
Sure. I don't think there's a whole lot you can do about it. I think it's just the physical connection, just like you sometimes need to unplug USBs and reseat them. So I took apart the power adapter and put it back all together, starting at the AC inverter. I turned everything off and just unplugged and plugged in all the connections. And then I got the white light on the back of the laptop. So I think it's just that AC adapter that was plugged into SSC5. Got loose, and that had happened to me yesterday when I set it up. So I swapped them, and but they're both working now, and I don't have any issues. I'm not sure what you're going to get from pictures. You're going to see computers with power adapters fully mated and plugged in.
And Ike, do you think if we Kapton taped the cable to the brick, that would help at all?
Not only would that not help, it would make it harder to troubleshoot later if you got to. I think it's like the USB. Sometimes you just demate it all and put it all back together. So it's not a problem. It's just like the SSCs where you have to take the battery out sometimes and reseat it. It just works. So maybe suggest that in the future if people are having problems with the SSC power adapter power chains. They wiggle out, and sometimes they're just not fully seated, or sometimes you just take them completely apart and reseat them, and that makes them come back on. And one other thing, like they have a locking feature when you you have to twist them in, and they kind of have a lock. And they were actually locked. They were both locked, and so I really don't think it's a Kapton tape for making sure it's secure. I just took it apart and put it back together, and I think that's what did it. Not sure why, but it seemed to be fully put together. So that or something internal that we also can't do anything about is going wrong.
All right, Ike, that helps us a lot. Thank you very much.
No problem. I know you guys love your pictures, though, so if you want them, I'll still take them. So what do you want?
Pluto is shaking her head. I think she's got plenty of photos.
Okay, copy that. Yep. And like I said, it's working now. I'll give you a status on it. I think Kate's going to break that stuff down later, and we'll let you know if it was still working.
Sounds great. Thank you.
After successful undocking of the Cargo Dragon vehicle from the Harmony module of the International Space Station, Dragon has now successfully completed its second milestone and is out of the approach ellipsoid. Now Dragon will fire its thrusters to move to a safe distance from the space station during the next 36 hours. On Wednesday, January 13th, Dragon will conduct a deorbit burn at 7:37 p.m. to begin its re-entry sequence into the Earth's atmosphere. Dragon is expected to splash down west of Tampa off the coast of Florida at around 8:27 p.m. Eastern Time. The splashdown will not be broadcast. After completing its 5-week mission, SpaceX's upgraded Cargo Dragon spacecraft is on its way home. And that'll wrap up our coverage for a successful undocking and departure this morning. This is Mission Control Houston.